Let's do it. Okay. My name is Mr. Huffer, and today we will be talking about organic chemistry. I am the expert, and this is my interviewee, Mr. Dylan Albright. Dylan, if you would like to start.
Mr. Huffer, could you describe your branch of chemistry to us?
Well, organic chemistry is a very complex form of chemistry. It covers all kinds of naming of structures and bonding and many different reactions within chemistry itself. It involves a lot to do with carbon and the synthesization of carbon atoms.
What type of education is required?
Well, organic chemistry is a prerequisite course at most colleges and universities. So basically, your first year of college college, it will be a class that you will take if you are involved with most branches of chemistry, especially an organic chemist or some form of, like me personally, I want to be a chiropractor, so I have to take organic chemistry. So something to do with scientists, to be like a practitioner or any of that. Oh, and the best schools to attend, I can't forget that, are, of course, Harvard, Stanford, and the University of California, Berkeley. And while you attend these schools, you have to receive a bachelor's degree, but it is also recommended that you get your graduate degree after.
As an expert, what kind of salaries can you expect?
Well, to start out with, you make more than minimum wage, which is good. A minimum salary that I found was around $46,000, a little over $46,000. But as you get later on in your career, you can earn in excess or close to $100,000. So overall, if you stick with it, you will be paid.
What area of industry do you focus on?
Well, you focus on a lot to do with carbon. You have to name and write all these funky formulas, and carbon's just a wonderful atom. And you have to be able to figure out how carbon can create an array of different structures. Chemists use carbon to synthesize, and they show the structures and characterization of the bonds of carbon.
What type of companies hire you on?
Well, I know you guys want to make a lot of money in the end, so I helped you out and looked up the higher money making towards the end of your career jobs. Some companies are Makoto, Stark Associates, Accutest Laboratories, and Warner Babcock Institute.
Is there anything else about organic chemistry?
Well, organic chemistry can be quite hard, and as long as you stick with it, in the end, it will pay you dividends. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Albright. I don't know how long it is.
You've heard this before, but it bears repeating. Carbon is the element of life. So much so that when we explore other planets, the first thing we look for is compounds that contain carbon. In fact, there was a time when we thought that carbon compounds could only be produced by living things. So early chemists called them, as we still do today, organic compounds. Scientists back then considered biological molecules to be almost mystical in origin, until 1828, when German chemist Friedrich Wöhler discovered that urea, a component of urine, could be synthesized simply by heating ammonium cyanate, an inorganic compound. That proved biological molecules were just chemicals that could be created and manipulated in the lab. Suddenly, a new branch of chemistry was born. Organic chemistry. It's like my favorite chemistry. So what is it about carbon, though, that makes it so special? Well, a lot of things. Like silicon, which we talked about a few weeks ago, carbon is in group 14 on the periodic table, and like all of the elements in that group, it has 4 valence electrons. And in carbon, those 4 electrons can bond to other atoms in a really promiscuous number of configurations to form all kinds of structures. Which is why carbon is to biology what silicon is to geology. Just as silicon forms the basis not only for sand, but also most of the rocks on Earth, carbon is the foundation of most biological molecules. Really all biological molecules, right? Yep. The simplest organic molecules are pure hydrocarbons containing only carbon and hydrogen. Hydrocarbon. And they are where we're gonna start